What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today I am going over another roadmap concept for 2022, this time by Ridmania. Now I had a little bit of input in this one, so what I want to do is that once again go through each slot of the roadmap, talk a little bit about them, and talk about if they're possible or if they're not. Now I am very aware that already by looking at this, it's pretty obvious that not a lot of these are going to happen, but it would still be fun to look through these anyway and theorise. So January being Captain Marvel, yeah, probably not. But anyway, new playable hero, new operation, new location, Hala, Supreme Intelligence, Raid. Now, obviously, we actually already know that the Kree invasion is going to have a raid, so maybe this isn't that far-fetched. It just wouldn't be in January, you know what I mean? So, okay, that's pretty cool. Now, this one was my input, the February one, then the King in Black villain event, new Null villain sector, free symbiote outfit set, new symbiote gear sets. I think this roadmap would kind of be what the roadmap would be like if Marvel's Avengers was kind of like a mobile game, in a sense of like there wasn't that much work to put into building different like villains and you know all that good stuff, because otherwise I'm pretty sure they'd be able to do it. Like I would love something like this, man. This is my dream sort of raid, you know. So when the Marvel MMO comes out in a few years, you know, if they can do a King in Black style thing, I will be all over that in seconds. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, House of M. Now, I would love to see them do a dual drop of these two, just because magic users, mate, we need them, you know what I mean? We need some visually impressive superheroes. But two new playable heroes, new operation, new location hell, new Mephisto Omega level threat. Now, I kind of have a feeling that in Marvel's Avengers, any villain, my apologies, that is kind of like, that has a superpower, or, you know, is some sort of bigger than, like, just a normal person, will most likely be a raid anyway. So like for example the Null villain sector, he'd be a raid. Mephisto, he'd be a raid. But I'd love to see it again. These are all really cool, you know, but I just imagine like any game being able to keep up with this for a month is mental, right? But here we go. So we got the Dark Avengers event. Now this one, I will say, was what I genuinely believe Red Room Takeover should have always been, right? Because if you guys remember, when you start the campaign, Kamala goes into the harm room, she can become Iron Man. So if Yelena Belova hacks the harm room, why can't she make almost like evil variants of the Avengers, right? So Dark Avengers bosses, Red Room event, Dark Avengers skins, new Ruskaya gear. Now, I do genuinely think that Red Room event with Dark Avengers bosses, why not? You know what I mean? Why the heck not? And by the way, by Dark Avengers, we mean like evil clones of the Avengers, not the actual, you know, Dark Avengers as we know them in the comics and stuff. Then we got May the Vision, artificial intelligence, new playable hero, new Ultron raid, new raid gear sets, new operation. Now, when Ultron comes to the game, inevitably, this would make sense, right? This kind of drop with Vision would make absolute sense. New raid gear sets. I mean, bro, like the raid gear that we have isn't that good, in my opinion. It has a few good perks on it, but nothing too ridiculous. So I would definitely like to see them dabble into more of that. And then we've got June, God of Mischief villain event, new Omega level threat, new location Asgard, new gear set. Now, I like that Rid's gone for like villain events, because that kind of implies that there isn't a ton of story with it. And I'm going to be honest, once the Kree raid is over, the Kree invasion, sorry, you don't have to go mental with the story. Like, you can literally just throw stuff at the wall for fun at that point, right? Because you don't have any commitment to a story at that stage. So just have fun with it. I think that's kind of my best suggestion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up now just a little bit here. There you go. So you guys can see the rest of the roadmap. So what we'll do is we're doing development, Wakanda faction. Now, I remember when Wakanda was coming out, people thought they would be able to get dailies from the Dora Milaje or Shuri, you know, and then level up with that, and it just never happened, and I thought that was really weird, so I definitely respect putting that on here. Emote wheel, again, this is something that has been deeply requested in developer conversations that I've had, just because if you're going to have emotes in the game, you should 100% advance on that and keep, it just makes sense. Don't have emotes in your game, you're not going to have an emote wheel, right? Crossbone's villain sector. Now, of course, something that should have been with the Wolf of Wakanda expansion, but wasn't. Do I think they've made one? I actually don't. I feel like if it is, it's going to be similar to the MODOK villain sector that was teased ages ago, with where it's just kind of like it's there but it's not used. Fixing our game. Yeah, that's a good one. UI overhaul. I definitely think that, you know what, actually I was talking about this the other day when I was loading up into Avengers to do like, the reset and stuff. When you get into the main menu, the game is so boring to look at. And I don't mean the one where all the heroes are there. I think that is pretty cool. But when just Marvel's Avenger, I'm like, wow, this like so much personality. You know what I mean? And it's definitely like, I know that's such a nitpick, but in any video game, the main menu should really be like just stocked with personality, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So let's use another Marvel game as an example, right? Because obviously, that makes sense. Marvel Spider-Man literally has Spider-Man, hanging on the side of a building. It's doing that really good sort of heroic music. You got the vibes. You know what I mean? It's vibes there. Balance tuning, better servers, good endgame loop. Now, obviously, they wouldn't write it like this, but with all these fucking raids and stuff like that, yeah, there you go. July, Ant-Man Quantum Tale, new playable hero, new location, Quantum City, new operation. Now, Ant-Man is someone I'd love to see in the game. He's definitely, whether it's Scott Lang or Hank Pym, is definitely someone that I would be interested in seeing, so I can totally get it. Kang the Conqueror villain event, new Kang raid, new gear set, new enemy faction. So it seems like Rid's kind of like going for it, where like the villain events aren't meant to be like big story beats. They seem to literally just be like drop them in, mini event for them, there you go. Which, yeah, okay, I totally can understand that. Unless, of course, I'd have to ask, the way he's doing it is it's like Operation, then similar to Cosmic Cube with Clint, then you get the ending with the villain, you know what I mean? The Falcon, Red Wings, new playable hero, new operation, new villain sector. I think Falcon would be really fun. I can just kind of picture it, like, just the way Falcon would play. I think he would be a really good character to have. Definitely overlooked in a lot of the lists that people make on this game as well. Then we've got Doctor Doom villain event. I mean, look, I understand that, this is all fun, but them ever having Doctor Doom on here, or Kang, or Nala, for example, would be just huge for the game. It would become their new big bad, do you know what I mean? Quake, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I'm going to be honest, before anyone attacks me, I never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't know a lot about Quake, so I'm pretty, unknown, you know what I mean, to Quake. So, I mean, I would love it for other people, 100%. Now, here's where things get a bit spicy. So, Galactus raid. New 6-player raid. New raid gear, new enemy types. Now, if they ever manage to pull off a raid like this, with minimal bugs, 6 players, new raid gear, new enemy, I would literally, if the actual 2022 roadmap comes out, and we have, the mystery hero, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, before Captain Marvel, and then we just got this style of raid, I'd be happy with that. I mean, yeah, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that would be so dope. So, okay, this is a pretty fun roadmap. But again, guys, I need you to understand, right, because I got a lot of hate on the last, well, I didn't get a lot, but I got some hate on my last concept video talking about All Father's roadmap, that, like, this is all for fun, innit? Do you know what I mean? If we make a roadmap that's literally like Red Room event, like, and we make a boring roadmap, then Crystal Dynamics is going to assume that is the standard that we want. No, I know this is impossible, but if we can have a high standard, that means they've got to work for that high standard, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of my thought process with it anyway. So don't attack anyone who's made this roadmap. Don't give me any rubbish. It's just a bit of fun. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.